sometimes when I was younger, I would be so pressed like, oh my God, he not calling me. But baby, all of that changes when you get a lineup. I had a person who asked me, you said you had something else to do today. I would like to spend more time with you today. What are you gonna be doing today? I said, well, if we gonna be honest, I have another date today. And yo, his face basically kind of dropped. But guess what? Do you think he stopped talking to me? No. In fact, he would call me and make sure that he got on my schedule. And he would make jokes about it. He would be like, well, I guess I need to get on the schedule early, huh? Yes, because mama got places to go and mama got things to do. We live out here. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina. I'm up late and I was thinking, let me go ahead and make this video. Like most of y'all, my hot girl summer is coming to a screeching halt. Before y'all go into being booed up and cuffed, I wanted to share this highly requested video on TMI dating tips and advice that I wish I knew earlier. From sex, mental health, love, red flags, and a whole lot more. We girl talking it tonight, y'all. Many of us have experienced some success with dating. Some of us have kissed a lot of frogs, and some of us float in between. I've played both sides of that. So last year, though, I was extra super quiet about it, and some of y'all was even a little upset with me about not telling you until it was later on down the line, but y'all know how I do. I was in a relationship that ended, but several months later, unexpectedly, I entered a new relationship. Y'all know that I've always been quite controlled about the sharing of my personal life, but last week I shared a little bit. I got a little cute with you. I shared that last week my young man and I celebrated a year of really getting to know one another, and during that time entering into a committed relationship. And Lord knows that struck up some questions over on that community wall. Now, while I won't be showing him, we did do a podcast that just went live over on my podcasting platforms that you can find the links for down below in the information section. We made it a point to answer most of those frequently asked questions that y'all had. And y'all wow, but I love every one of y'all, even the petty labels. Now, before we go into all of this stuff, let me share what I believe dating is and what it is not from my humble opinion. Dating means you're going on dates. You're actively seeking out and going out and meeting people and spending time with them. Dating someone, on the other hand, means that you're seeing someone specific. You're also being purposeful and seeing them on a regular basis. The difference between dating, hooking up, having fun, or hanging out is intention and purpose. That doesn't mean that something non-serious and just chilling can't turn into something more serious, but you definitely can't assume that it will. You also can't assume that dating someone specifically will turn into something more exclusive and super serious and or into a committed relationship. But I want to make sure we get into a discussion, so down below make sure that you leave your thoughts, your ideas, the things that you've gone through, and also click like if you can relate to any of my dating stories and some of the things and advice that I'm sharing with you guys. Also, make sure you let me know any videos that you would like to see in the future. All items that I discussed today can be found down below in the description box. Y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it, comment, share, and subscribe, and also click on those notification bells so you can know when I upload on Thursdays and Sundays. Make sure you also check out my Now That's Life podcast, which is now live, and you can check it out on all your major podcasting platforms. Links to my podcast can be found down below in the information section. Before you start dating, you should always pray, no matter your higher being. Pray that God's hands of protection are all over you, your mind, your body, your spirit, and also pray that those that should be in your life remain, while those that should not be in your life quickly go away. The first thing is going to therapy and getting some successful relationship mentors. This is especially good when you find yourself easily attached or too attached to new people in your life, or even too attached to older people from your past, like your exes. It's also good to do when you find yourself having a hard time connecting with other people, and also dealing with bigger issues that could be preventing good connections for you in relationships. In therapy, I really focused a lot on learning my worth. I wasn't confident in all parts of my life, but more specifically dating. So one thing that was focused on is really understanding my worth and appreciating my worth. I I had to learn what I deserved in a relationship. And if I wasn't getting it, I had to build healthy boundaries in order to get there. If I wasn't getting it, I had to be willing to step away. And again, that feeds into your self-worth. You need to protect yourself. You need to be able to stand up for you. And when I started to tell myself that I didn't deserve anything less, I started to walk away from situations, and I started to walk away freely and in a healthy manner. What it did was it prevented me from building up baggage that would take years for me to get over. Actually, my therapist gave me this mug. You need that peace. When I first went to therapy, I was really guarded and I didn't want to let a lot of people in. I didn't trust a lot of people. And I'm not saying that that's not a great thing. Sometimes you can have a wall up so thick, can't nothing knock you down. I also had to face the fact that at some point in my life, I was attracting fix-it-feels and ridiculous rickies, but I nipped that in the bud real quick and learned my dating patterns and the type of people I needed to stay away from. I also changed my circle and my surroundings and my environment. Sometimes being around the wrong people overall, even not romantically, can cause you to believe that it's okay to accept the worst of love. Love don't have to be a struggle bus, and anybody prompting you to stay in struggle love, they struggling too. So I had to switch it up and figure out the healthy boundaries that would be best for my life. I started releasing myself from people and situations that weren't healthy for me. I started listening to people that have long, healthy relationships and marriages. I have people in my life that have been married more than 40 years. Yes, and I talk to them a lot. I talk to them about my dating ups and downs. I talk to them about the people who are currently in my life. I talk to them about friendships, about building a tribe, about being a better me, and they share so much with me. But I also talk to people that have had failures in their relationships. I talk to friends that have had divorces, friends that have been on their second marriages, people who have really gone through things but have come through them and have learned from them. Also, those people that didn't see themselves as perfect, worked on it, and can also see those things within me and help me work on it before I become a married woman. I read books as well to think about things to keep my mind on and things to reflect on. And I also dated everything from everyday Joes, high and low level professionals, professional athletes, and even more. And let me tell y'all something. People can be a mess or even be blessed with all backgrounds, races, shades, colors, creeds, and sizes. Remember that. The next one might hurt some feelings because in the past it hurt my own feelings. Be a reflection of your own expectations. Self-care and life goals are key. The question that I wish I asked much earlier than I did was, look honey, would you date you? A lot of times people want the world of everybody else, but they expect very little from themselves. You get what you put out there. I invest a lot in working out, taking care of my body, taking care of my skin, my hair, never leaving the house looking a mess. I engage in educating myself and learning more about the world. I've learned to develop good relationships, tribes, circles, and professional development. A lot of people will say they don't have time for all of that. However, they will expect somebody else to invest time in them. If you're not investing time in you, you're not a good reflection of what you want. I truly believe I get top notch now because I am top notch. I remember that I'm a lady and I should be treated as one. A lot of people might make you feel like you're being a pushover by acknowledging that you're a woman, that you're a lady, and you desire to be treated like one. But look, I want to be with a man, not be a man. I even addressed that part in therapy, being a strong Black professional woman and how to balance that. I learned that my profession is important to me. It makes up a part of me. However, I don't have to lead with that, and I'm definitely not just my profession. Oh, done lost my pillow. Hallelujah. Good thing it wasn't you, Bella. The next one is controversial, but talking about sex is a must even if you ain't having it. Now, I grew up in the Church of God in Christ and there wasn't a whole lot of talking about sex. In fact, when I talk about my upbringing, that's one thing that I wish was talked about just a little bit more. But I'm thankful for that because I did learn to educate myself. I learned to speak up to my doctor about questions or any problems that I was having. And I also requested information from my doctor. This also helped me to formulate something, right? So I felt more in control of my destiny when it came to sex. I was not taught to have sex before marriage, so I am not supporting that. But I think that it's something that you should know and understand about yourself, especially if you're going to choose to have it. The reason being, here's the thing, you need to learn all the consequences that come with sex, all of them. be it emotional, physical, spiritual. And in dating, you need to know what you want before you date. If you're going into the dating scene and you've decided that you're not going to have sex, and that's something that you're going to discuss, then stick with it. If you are going to choose to have sex, you need to find out every way you can to protect yourself and remain okay while dealing with other people in this world that you're going to accept into your body. I'm just being real. We grown over here. I also learned that some of us fall short in asking questions. Anytime I have potential suitors or people that I was dealing with, I asked them, were they having sex? Were they willing to not have sex in a relationship? If they were having sex, had they been tested? Did they know everything they had tested positive or negative for? Did they have proof of documentation of all of this? I wanted to know their expectations, and even if they had made decisions to wait until marriage. You need to know, point blank and period, not talking about sex don't make it go away. Your body is natural, it's normal. I don't care how saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost you are. You got emotions, oceans, and hormones in there. Everybody is free flowing all up in their bodies. And guess what? God made our bodies for that. However, you need to understand that about yourself. You need to have control of yourself. You need to be able to maintain yourself, and you need to be able to be educated in this game. Ever since I could be, I've always been tested and known my status on everything. It's important. You need to know. You don't need to be skipping over that part of it. You definitely need to be getting checked out, and your partner needs to be doing the same. This is where it gets funny. Get that lineup game strong. Now, when I learned this, you couldn't stop me. I was Megatron. What I'm telling you here, if you're not exclusive, you do not have to date just one person at a time. I had to really learn that, and I learned it the hard way. When I was younger and I was a serial monogamist and just pouring myself into one person without commitment, boy, oh boy, that caused a lot of problems. When I stopped doing that, I started to look at people clearly. It's interesting that the more people that are on your roster, the more you pay attention and the more you can get rid of the people that don't belong there. I was less pressed to make it work with people who were not good for me. I truly prioritized my time. And when people was trying to play games with me, like not being definitive or telling me when we would meet or go out on a date or playing a whole lot of other games, I was quickly able to move on to the next one without crying and wondering what I did wrong. I had people hitting the line like, hello? Hold on. Hey, how you doing? So instead of falling in the lineup, I got a lineup. And people had to get on my calendar respectfully. When I was dating, sometimes when I was younger, I would be so pressed like, oh my God, he not calling me. Oh my God, he didn't text me back. Oh my God. But baby, all of that changes when you get a lineup. Then that one that's really breaking through and showing you that he has the qualities and characteristics, you're gonna be happy to see him. And there's gonna be a few others, you know, in the background playing on the playground. However, you'll definitely be able to get rid of some quite quickly, and you'll become more aware of what you like and what you don't like. You don't have to be sleeping with all of them, and you don't have to be sleeping with none of them. All you're doing is really kind of going through a vetting process. When I started doing that, I was quite upfront. Let me tell you, it was funny how men treated me when they found out I was dating other men. In fact, it almost made me feel like they started to respect me even more. They respected my time more. They respected who I was more. And it wasn't that I had to throw it in their faces. I was just honest. If they asked me if I was dating other people, yes, I'm dating other people. Or sometimes if they didn't bring it up, I would ask because I wanted to make sure that that was defined early on. So on a date, I would say, hey, are you dating other people? If they, you know, said yes or no, I was quickly going to make sure I told them I am dating other people. And y'all, my friends told me I was a savage for this one. I had a person who asked me, you said you had something else to do today. I would like to spend more time with you today. What are you gonna be doing today? I said, well, if we gonna be honest, I have another date today. And yo, his face basically kind of dropped. But guess what? You think he stopped talking to me? No. In fact, he would call me and make sure that he got on my schedule. And he would make jokes about it. He'd be like, well, I guess I need to get on the schedule early, huh? Yes, because mama got places to go and mama got things to do. We live out here. I think more people should be honest about that in the dating game. And I encourage young women to be quite honest about that. And I'm not saying you got to do that forever. That was not something I could have even sustained forever when I was dating. In fact, in therapy, it was one of those things that we discussed that I decided was one of the best things for me to try, was dating multiple people. You don't get intimate with all these people. You don't have to be close with all these people, but it definitely teaches you something about yourself. It teaches you how to build boundaries. It teaches you what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. And it also teaches you how to X people off your roster. And it's okay. So we just talked about getting that roster right. But if you're on a bad date, and I mean severely bad, it is okay to leave. Point blank, period. Yes, I clapped. I know I had to learn how to stop entertaining people because I wanted to be super nice or because I was feeling desperate. And I thank God for not going through the desperation period for a very long time at all. In fact, it was probably 5 minutes long because it makes you do stuff that makes you feel crazy. You don't have a hold of your emotions. It's just a really not good place to be in. A lot of times we as young women go on these dates and the people are making us feel uneasy and we stick with it. You do not want to stay on a date or with someone because it might get better. And that's in a relationship or when just dating. I had to remember this was my life, this was my time, and I had to be responsible for making it count. And this leads me into this one. If you really don't want to go on a date, don't go. And in some situations, cancel. Ain't nobody doing nobody no favors by going on dates with people that are super lukewarm, that you're not building any sense of respect or regard for. You trying to get a free steak. If you can't go or you're not feeling super ready yet, it's okay to reschedule. This happened with my online dating area. I'm busy, so I'm not just out here able to meet a lot of people. But when I started dating online, I wanted to feel a sense of comfort with people. I'm not gonna meet you in 5 seconds from talking to you on the phone. Sometimes I need to talk to you, let that simmer, and figure out whether or not you know, a little nutty. There was one time that I met a guy online and I called him, and y'all, it was the worst phone call of my life. I was up and down. He was telling me personal stuff way too early, like, whoa, buddy. It was just a hot, funky mess. I'm on the phone like, are you serious? Is this what life has come to? This man was telling me stuff that I don't think anybody should ever know. I mean, a part of it being, he said that his 7-year-old told his baby's mama that daddy's car smelled like weed all the time. It was just way too much, like too soon. Like the first 10 minutes, I'm sitting on the phone like, oh my. And I had already told him that it would be okay for us to meet up at this neutral location. After talking with my friends, and they were like, honey, you probably need to cancel that. In the name of Jesus, I had to cancel that. Too intense. I don't know what was going on. He was already talking about how he wants to get married, how he wants to have kids, and all of that in our first 10 minutes. I was like, you know what, Jesus, I don't want to do this, and I probably won't be dating. Y'all, it almost scared me away from online dating, but what ended up happening was I kindly declined. I told him that I didn't think it would be a good idea for us to meet, and that he was a nice person, and that I hope he found what he was looking for. And thereafter, he continued to try to text me. I had to block him in the name of the Lord. Anytime somebody makes you feel uneasy, not good, especially in the first parts of courting or dating, it's okay to move on. The next one is to stop looking so hard for love and for the one. And stop trying to force people or begging people to be with you. I used to spend so much of my life wondering, is this it? Is this the one? And y'all, I would get so exhausted, like just worn out. Because either I was thinking about them in a good way or I was like, I don't think this is it. And so it was bothering me so much that when I would spend time with the person, I was stressed out. I had to learn to let go, and I had to realize that if it happens for me, it happens. I also, way back in the past, used to try to impress people. And even if they didn't find me impressive, I would stick around. But I learned that if they didn't find me impressive, as awesome as I was, that I need to keep it moving and move along. It's okay if I ain't for everybody. I had to let go of control. And once I let go of that rope, I felt much better and less stressed and less pressed. When you place too much heart on finding the one, you will make someone the one. You'll start to ignore the things that are unhealthy or negative, or the things that y'all just simply are not clicking on or vibing on. So you'll also ignore your prayers. You'll ignore everything you've asked for. You'll start to accept less than what you are deserving of, and it causes a whole world of craziness. And also, just in dating, you'll allow everybody to be a mess, not to really treat you well or take you to nice places or treat you like a lady or a young man. You'll stop looking for those things just simply to have someone, and you'll take a mess instead of being blessed. And that'll bleed over into an exclusive or committed relationship. You'll start to feel like you have to accept anything or accept a person in order to get further in a relationship. So instead of putting all the pressure on it, enjoy liking the person if you like the person. And if you don't, be okay moving on. I really take time to get to know my boo, love them, and really connect on a personal and deeper level. It's just gonna be what it's going to be. It's okay if someone is very nice, but you still don't like them. There's no rule in the book that says you have to like and love everybody. And I had to learn this. I mean, you come up in a church like I do, you learn that you should love everyone. But then also, you're not really taught explicitly about dating. So then you become confused and you don't necessarily understand the boundaries of dating. So you let people in a little too fast, or you don't let anyone in. So I had to learn that it was okay that there were certain people that I was just not gonna be into. Not all nice people are meant to be a part of your life. You can waste a lot of time with nice people who are simply not on your level. And people get all offensive and offended when you say on your level. Now that's one thing my mother did teach me as a child. You should always try to be in a circle where people have similar interests, goals, and values. You might not work the same job or have the same education, but you should still be striving upward and doing well. And you certainly shouldn't be settling for anybody nice just because they nice. If they cannot add benefits to your life, but you adding benefits to theirs. Because if you're here and someone is here, guess where you going? Here. Okay, so I learned that early. Birds of a feather flock together means so much more than knowing nice people. Nice people are great, but nice people don't continue the circle of building a life or building strong connection. The people around me that I love the most, even just non-romantically, even my best friends, they're not just nice people. They also have different dimensions to them. They're also upward in mobility. They take care of themselves and they take care of me. Those are the things you should be looking for within your tribe. In my past, I dealt with a lot of nice guys. They were not quite ambitious, wanted me to be their only source of entertainment, and were a little too inappropriately into me and parts of my life a little sooner than they should have been. I even had a nice guy I dated at one time that was upset that I maintained friendships in other parts of my circle and my life and activities that I like to enjoy without him. And not just my friendships or things like that, but there were other things that I wanted to do. And for him, that was like a violation. Some nice people can turn quickly into controlling sociopaths. I'm just saying. This last one is definitely savage. Go with your gut. If they ain't shit, they ain't shit. I had to learn it quickly after some bad situations. If I started going out with a man that was being too pushy or not listening to me or seemed strange, or he was making me uncomfortable or making certain comments that were inappropriate, or he scared me either in the dating or courtship or even in a serious committed relationship, I had to protect myself and I had to give myself the right to trust myself. Not because they told me I should trust them, but because I actually did. And if I didn't, they had to go. If you want to date with somebody and something uncomfortable happens, don't hesitate to leave respectfully, and you do not have to give a reason why. The problem out here with this dating scene is people think they are old explanation, even in just the dating phase. We are not together. That has not been established. And if you make me feel uncomfortable, I have the right to leave this situation. You don't owe anything to anyone who's making you feel off. I actually left a date in the past with a guy who was speaking quite inappropriately. He was trying to touch me. I felt like he was kind of fetishizing me from the comments he was making. It was just really made me feel rather gross. And get this, he was an ex-NFL player. I ain't gonna say no names. And I left that date, and even when he tried calling me, he further completed the circle, because after he called me, I guess he noticed that I was not into him, and I kind of made that clear in my leaving, because he tried to go for kissing me or whatever before I left, and I was like, oh no. And he called me the next day, and I was thinking we were going to have a civil conversation or give him the chance to explain his behavior, like maybe he was nervous, maybe he didn't, know how to approach me. But y'all, this dude commences to tell me that the waitress tried to holler at him after I left. And I'm like, okay. My response was, maybe you should talk to her, because now you're showing yourself to be even ugly. So you're trying to make me jealous, and I don't even know you. And all I know is I feel grossed out by you. So she can have you, which I didn't think that was the truth, but whatever. So it happens, y'all. You got to be very careful and very selective, and it's okay to be selective with your space. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know that there's some advice here that I feel like I wish I learned earlier, but I'm just glad that I learned. That's another thing. Don't beat yourself up if you don't know all of this shit, and if you're still growing and knowing yourself. It's fine. It takes time, but hopefully some of these things will help you grow up a little bit faster and learn some things that could be helpful for you in the dating scene. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace. Special thanks to Jason Bowie of Trinity Media Solutions for co-producing and filming today's video. His information can be found down below in the information section. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.